How does one become a great leader? Well, if you want to become a great leader, start as early as you can, as young as you can, building a great foundation, a, a wonderful foundation for the leadership qualities to develop in. Form a foundation of honesty in all your dealings, integrity of character, learning to gain as much of a well-rounded education as you can, learning the techniques of communication, good communication, and getting along with people well, being sociable with many people, and learning to generally what makes all other people get along with each other, and what makes other people, what the desires of other people are in their life, and what makes them happy, and where they're coming from. Just generally learn where everyone around you and where everyone you're going to be leading is coming from, and then develop that good foundation of a well-rounded education that you can land that leadership, put your leadership feet upon and begin to rise up from. Know that the more well-rounded education you have, the more likely you can be a great leader, because you won't be limited to one area of expertise. You'll understand more people because you'll understand more things. You'll have greater communication because you'll understand a lot more about life and about what makes a person choose the various careers that they choose, or do the various things they do, or prosper in the certain areas that they prosper in. You'll have a well-rounded education in all fields of study. All of that increases your chances. Just like widening your foundation increases the ability to build your ability to build a larger building. So, looking at all of these various qualities, then we have to also, once we built that foundation, you have to gain the great drive to be a leader. You have to desire to be a leader. Then you have to develop a great vision for how you're going to lead, and who you're going to lead, and what you're going to lead in, and know where you're going to lead them to. And just concentrate on what the future is going to hold, and how your various businesses you're trying to lead in are going to grow. What kind of people are going to be involved in that business? What kind of choices you're going to have to make? If it's political leadership, to understand what the political viability is for various qualities that you will develop, and learn how to lead in every area of politics, and understand every area of the country and the government and how it all operates, and just practice those leadership qualities. And then you have to begin to develop a good public speaking, and that is always developed faster through the more speaking that you do. You can take courses on public speaking to get yourself started, and that helps, and that gets you off the ground floor. But then the more you practice, that practice does more. The practice of public speaking, practice doing a good job speaking, does you a whole lot more good than just studying about public speaking. Then you develop a good use of the English language. You develop a good vocabulary. You develop an understanding of various foreign languages and how they help with the English, how they help you to understand the origins and the different aspects of the English language. It makes you more confident even in English. And these particular things, if practiced regularly and built upon and started at a young age, will assure that you will become a great leader, or at least it will make it a much more likely that you will. Don't wait in life for the leadership position to open up before you learn these qualities, or before you get the education, or before you start practicing your leadership or practicing your public speaking. Practice your leadership in whatever small way you can. Practice speaking in whatever small way you can, and do it as much as you can, over and over as much as you can, and determine to be better at it every day than you was the day before. And just strive to gain a vision of all the possibilities which are there or could be there. Before you learn all the possibilities, learn to ask yourself what could be there and what might I expect and how great the miracle might be and how great my leadership ability might come and how far I might go in my leadership ability and just how far do I want to stretch myself and just how much I want to put into growing into a better person. How much better I want to learn how to get along with all vast amounts of people. How much better I want to learn communication skill. How much of a vast education do I want to get to make sure that I have a firm foundation regardless of what direction I decide to lead in. And just what all do I want to do to prepare, and what is the price I'm willing to pay for leadership? Understanding that there's a price to be paid for leadership. Once you've got to spend the time it takes to develop the qualities of a leader, the character, the integrity, and the honesty, and the education, and the practice of leadership and public speaking, and so forth. But then you have to ask yourself just how far you want to carry that. And if your vision is that you will want to carry that however far it takes. However far it takes, however much practice I need, however much I need to pay. Is there any price too high that you want to pay to be a great leader? If there's no price you're not willing to pay, then you're increasing your chances once again. You got to be willing to pay any price for that leadership ability and to gain a position of great leadership. And therefore, you work hard. You start your early in life, and you work hard, and you prepare, and you develop, and you prepare, and you develop, and you prepare for the time when you will be able to move into that position of great leadership. And that becomes the most important thing to you. When it becomes the most important thing to you, I should say, then that will also increase your chances. It doesn't mean you won't reach it without that, but that increases your chances. Every one of these steps that you take and partake in and determine you're going to be the best at, increases your chances. And we want our chances to be the best because we have that spark within us that says we are leaders. We want to be leaders. We know we can do it. And we're determined to do it. And so when we find out what those things we need to prepare for to gain that leadership, then we do it with all of our heart. A lot of times people want to become great leaders, but they just don't know what qualities they have to have or what kind of preparation they have to make until maybe it's pretty far down the road, or they never do learn them. And so somehow or another, then they are frustrated in their ability to move into leadership. And that causes them to miss out on it. And so we have to be able to know the area that we got to cover, the territory we've got to cover, the amount of territory, and the price we're willing to pay, and the character we're willing to achieve, the way we're willing to improve ourselves and read every self-improvement book. You should have a library of every possible self-improvement book that you can ever find anywhere, to the best of your ability to do so. You should have a vast library of everything that will improve you. Everything from Dale Carnegie's books to Norman Vincent Peale to all the other great leaders of our country, all the great presidents of our country. You should have a vast library of all of these things. And work hard at perusing them and understanding them and fully incorporating their ideals and their ideals within your soul. Forming your soul and your outlook and your character out of all the various inputs from all the various sources so that you become a great, just like a great 1,000-piece puzzle, and each piece of that puzzle comes from a different great character or a different great trait of a different great leader. And then you put it all together and you form your character out of all those thousands of pieces until you form a gigantic character made up of all the leaders that have ever lived and all the inspiration that's ever been written down. You should know all the great inspiration that's ever been written down, all the great quotations, all the great historical documents, and incorporate them within your own being, mind, and soul, and get them in your subconscious so that you automatically act on them and automatically react upon what they're saying and automatically and subconsciously move in the direction which you've been led by that to grow in. And it becomes a part of you, a part of your very action, a part of your very character, a part of the way you make decisions, a part of the way you meet people, a part of the way you deal with people, a part of your entire spark within your soul and your life, just generally a part of your brain and your thinking mechanism. Make it all a part, every good character trait and every good leadership trait, make that all a part of you. And make it into a living, breathing thing that is you. And then you are that leader. You are a conglomeration, a collection of all leaders that have ever lived. And work hard at that. And start early and continue and continue and continue and don't give up till you become that great leader. See that great light on the hill. Up there on that mountaintop that's shining its light across the world, and that represents your leadership ability. And it's a long trek up the mountain and a lot of steps. You know, rocks, you go from one rock to the other and you get up until you get to the top of that house. And see that as the various educational preparation and preparation of reading and preparation of understanding and development of character. Use all the different ways you can of developing character, good character, until you reach that mountaintop, where you can, as Dr. Martin Luther King said, look over into the promised land and see all the vast beauty of everything that can be and all the possibilities can be for your leadership skills. With that mountain always in your view, inspiring you and keeping you going, and never give up, no matter what hurdles get in your way. And no matter how much it seems dark that you don't see exactly how your inner source, your God, that God, our inspiration is going to take the next step, even though you don't see that and you don't see how the next thing is going to take place or how you're going to get over the next rock on the way up to the mountain. You see the mountaintop and you continue toward it, ever more and ever more, gaining more and more inspiration as you go, and gaining more and more confidence with every step you take. And so I just want everyone listening to this to see that they can develop great leadership abilities. They can develop great vision. I'm going to pray right now that everyone listening to this video will be inspired to develop their leadership qualities and develop great inspiration to be all that they can be, to be everything they can be, and can reach the mountaintop of leadership and ability and character. And I just pray now that if there's any sick among us, that there's any sick out there listening, that or anybody with any disease, curable or incurable, they will see that God has the answer to all. He can cure one disease as easy as the other. And so I'm going to pray right now that He will raise you up from that sickness or that disease right now in the name of Father, in the name of Thy Holy Son Jesus. Raise them up right now. Put them on a high level, upon a place of happiness and joy in every area of their life, a place of reward, a place of great vision, a place of great dreams, a place of great hope and happiness and joy. Give them every joy possible and deliver them from every depression, oppression, or obsession that's holding them back, any blues, any lack of total happiness, any lack of things to look forward to, any lack of knowing how to plan, any lack of not being able to have that vision, that you would fulfill that and fill that in right now in the name of thy Holy Son, Jesus. And then, Father, in the name of thy Holy Son, Jesus, heal, raise up, give joy, give peace, give happiness. In the name of the Holy Son, Jesus, amen, amen, and amen.